Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to a video where we are going to be discussing how to get more points in squad battles. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure you do drop a thumbs up if you found it useful and hit that subscribe button as well for more amazing content. But let us go into squad battles in FIFA 20. It is incredibly difficult to get 2,500 plus points on Legendary. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are probably struggling and wondering how they can improve and how they can get more points. And if you're one of those people that's maybe going to try and push for top 100, hopefully what I have to say will help you going forwards. So without further ado, let's go into it. Before we just jump straight into a game, I want to put some things out there that you should do if you're one of those people that's trying to get better. First thing, you need to have a good squad. Now you can see the sort of team that I've got on the team. It's a pretty good squad. You know, for this early in FIFA, it is a pretty good squad. This is no FIFA points as well, by the way. This has just been playing the game. This is the sort of squad I've got, and this is the sort of team you need to be aiming for. At the very least, your team needs to be better than what you're playing in your sets. This sort of team will be better than 8 out of 10 teams that you're going to play, and with that sort of ratio, especially the smaller teams, you should be putting them away very, very comfortably. But your team needs to be able to compete. If you're one of those people that's going into squad battles and your team is worse than most people's, the AI is a lot harder this year, so you're going to struggle. So you definitely need to have a better team. So this sort of team going into games will definitely help you going forwards. Second thing I recommend is putting attribute cards on your players, especially more so for the tough games. So if you're playing a team that's similar to yours, put some attribute cards on. You should be getting attributes from bronze pack method. There's probably a lot of people out there that will be doing bronze pack method, and you should be keeping the attribute cards and you know, throwing them on your players, because they do give them a nice boost, and it's just a little edge that you're going to have over your counterpart players. Third thing that you absolutely should be doing, and you should have already done, is a pretty simple one, but chem styling up all your players. If you've played on basic and then played with a player with a chem style, for example, I used Goretzka on basic and then stuck a Deadeye on him, and the difference is noticeable. And to mention that your counterpart teams that you're going to be playing with, other people probably will have chem styled up their players as well, so it's absolutely essential that you chem style up and just give yourself every little boost before you go into games, because it is difficult this year, so you need to give yourself every little boost going into the games. And then the fourth and final thing is make sure you have a tactic like this set up. So we've gone for balance on defensive style. You could go for press. I would go against going for press, because if you're aiming for max points, you obviously want the clean sheet. If you go on something like press, the AI is a lot better this year at scoring goals and just holding on to possession and moving up the field. So going on press, leaving yourself exposed, you're more likely to concede that goal. So I'd say balance, solid width and depth. Go on offensive style on fast build up. You can see what we've gone for, and for corners and free kicks, I've gone for the lowest one, because trying to cross the ball and heading this year is extremely underpowered. So I wouldn't even waste your time trying to cross the ball. Just go short on corners, short on free kicks, or unless you're a master and know some special way, but go short. So this is what we're going to go with. Now we're going to go into a live game and show you how it's done. So going straight into a game, and as I said, with all these things said and done, this you can watch how I play, and you can maybe pick up some tips as to how I attack, how I defend, how I press, and how I go about getting the points. Now first and foremost, you can see Jan Oblak in goal. If you go up against a beast goalkeeper like a Jan Oblak, like a Ter Stegen or a De Gea, you're going to have a really, really tough time scoring 5 goals. Even though the rest of the team is okay, it's not amazing. But going up against someone like Jan Oblak in goal, the goalkeepers, especially like the top tier goalkeepers, are extremely difficult to score against. So I'd absolutely recommend that you just have to be patient. They're going to make saves, especially those top end keepers. They're just going to make crazy, ridiculous saves. And that's why it's important to have a good team, because having a really good team is going to, especially like having really good strikers, is extremely important. Having clinical finish. They don't necessarily have to be the quickest, especially on squad battles, because it's not all about pace. On squad battles, it's more about finishing. You do get the chances to score 5 goals in a game, but when you come up against a top keeper, it's about whether your players are clinical enough to be able to beat some of the top keepers. So you can see I haven't gone for a press. You saw my tactics. I've not gone for a press, because if you go for a press, you're more likely to win the ball up higher up the pitch, and you might be able to counter attack, and you might create more opportunities. But you're going to leave yourself exposed to counter-attacks. And the computer, the AI, is better at watching counter-attacks. It's better at scoring this year. So you're more likely to concede. You know, a chance here with Dembele, unfortunately, we missed it. And that's what I mean by, you know, that's normally a shot you would expect to go in, but with these top keepers, they make saves like that look extremely easy. So that really already should be 1-0. It maybe wasn't the best finish for me. There was probably something better I could have done there. I don't like to blame the game too much. I always like to think, could I do anything better? But that really should already be 1-0. Just carving up a chance. It came from a short corner. Again, I don't recommend crossing the ball. Go short on your corners. You can see how he worked that short corner and just created an opportunity, and could have scored again. But for me, the most important thing is to be patient. You can't rush this year when you're playing squad battles. Probably should have squared that one across a little bit earlier, but you can't rush when you're playing squad battles, because you can see the computer is very good at retaining possession. I don't even think pressing the computer. We do go into a team press, just to try and win that ball up a little bit higher up at the pitch, because we're not getting too much luck here. But it's very important to try and stay solid and compact, because if you go too gung ho, you could go on something like a constant pressure, but your players are just going to be drained after a very short amount of time. You know, if you go constant pressure against a team like this, it's not the best play, because they've got some decent players that can punish you, especially on the counter attack. Someone like that Pookie could easily get a chance if you're wide open. You know, he could easily get a chance. Get Sancho through here. Play this right. This is the thing that's difficult this year. That they're very good at tracking the runs. Like, you know, in previous FIFAs, you know, just a give and go, or just using a fake shot at the right time would always get you in. That isn't really the case. You have to be a lot more technical with your play this year. It's very difficult to just kind of do a fake shot or just a give and go and get an opportunity. We get a chance here with Dembele on the left. Can we play it right? No, we go for a shot. This doesn't really work out too well. So you can see that the computer is very solid as well, and it's not too easy to carve out too many chances, but eventually I think if we keep pressing, we will get this. They are starting to lose the ball now. Typically when the AI starts to lose the ball and you start to retain more pressure, eventually the chance will come with Sancho just a little bit overhit. That's what I mean. Oblak, man, these goalkeepers, they just come and claim everything, especially the top keepers. They're just so difficult to break past. I feel like you can see again with this pressure, eventually we're going to get a goal here with Sancho, with Dembele. We're going to smash that one in, and that's 1-0. So eventually the pressure will tell. At this point you could go up something like a press on possession loss or heavy touch. I think we're just going to stay with the tactics we're going with, because it got us that goal. As I say, you don't need to rush too much, because at the end of the day it's very difficult to get the 5 goals in the first place. I wouldn't even attempt to worry about the corners. I think the most important thing is just try and get the 5 goals and keep the clean sheet. And that should get you roughly sort of 2,700 points, and that really should be enough. You know, I'll tell you this year, because it is pretty tough on squad battles, probably 2,400 as an average will get you top 100 at the minute. That might even be a little bit too high at 2,400, because I think a lot of people are struggling. Mainly a lot of people that I see are struggling to score the 5 goals. And it's tough. It's not so much that people are struggling to create the chances. I think it's just the goalkeepers are superhuman. We get Dembele here, and there's a block. That's another thing that's really like present in this game. A lot of AI blocks. I know we're playing the AI, so obviously the AIs, but you know what I mean. The AI sort of block shots that should really be. I mean, that should really be a shot that's going in. I don't even know how that's a foul. How can that be a foul when they kicked it at me? What was I saying? Can't even remember now. I've lost my train of thought because of that free kick. It's very difficult to score those sorts of chances, because the AI just gets in the way and blocks so many things, and that's definitely a criticism I think so far of the AI. We get through again with Dembele, and there's Oblak with another crazy save again. That one, much like the first one, I think that was a better shot than the first one we had, because we hit that low, and you can see Oblak, man, he just still gets down to it. Sancho's here. That's a terrible shot, terrible low-driven shot, but you can see we you know, already, if we would have been extremely clinical, you know, robotically clinical, we would have had 4 goals already. And that's why you need to have a good team. That's why you need to have really good finishers, because I don't want to blame the game too much, but I feel like if we would have had maybe a Neymar, for example, instead of that Dembele, that probably would have been a goal, and you maybe would have scored the first one as well, and you'd now be sat on 3 goals instead of 1 going into half time. But you know, the first day of FIFA, you're not going to have Neymars and stuff, so you have to be realistic, and that's why it's tough, because you are using players that, you know, someone like Dembele is good, and Modric and Sancho, they're good players, but they're not. Oh, Black man, he's getting that again. How's he blocking that? They're good players, but they're not those sort of elite tier players. The thing about FIFA this year, there's not necessarily a meta. There's not really, as I said, there's not what a save from Oblak, man. You can see, we're creating the chances, and this is the frustration I think with a lot of people in squad battles this year, and just with goalkeepers in general. I mean, that's a good shot. That's a good shot from Goretzka, so that's 2-0. But yeah, we could have had 5 goals in that first half, and you're getting the chances, and that's the crazy part. It's not like you play squad battles or you play against computer and you don't get the opportunities. You get the opportunities. You can see there, 8 shots, 6 on target, good possession, nice pass. Actually, the computer's not even had a single shot at our goal. Let's see if we can make a few subs here. We're going to get Jovic moving down to Cam, and might bring Perisic on, play him at number 10, and have Sancho and Dembele up front. But it's not that you don't get the chances against computer, it's just the goalies just make ridiculous saves. You know, and I know it's Jan Oblak, and obviously he's going to make saves, and you'd expect him to make saves. But you know, some of those saves are good shots. You know, they're good shots. I wouldn't expect a goalie. I don't think should be making that many saves. You know, some of those shots are shots that you'd think, damn, this should be a goal, and they make saves. You know, and the block as well that the defender made. And you can see we're being patient, we're creating our chances, we're carving our chances open, but you know, the defenders are just getting in the way, the goalie is just making some crazy saves. But this tactic is working extremely well. It's given us those opportunities, it's given us those chances, having a good team as well, you know, the chem styles, the attribute cards. You know, I'll make it clear as well, I'm not an absolute monster at this game, and there's people that will be able to take these tactics and instructions and apply them a lot better than I will. Perisic, oh, it's a terrible ball. But there'll be you guys might be able to apply these much better than me. But it does work. It's just extremely difficult this year to get 2500. There's not really any glitches or kind of like in previous FIFAs, like last year. You were able to just use something as simple as like a fake shot would be able to create you an opportunity to get in it. And you can see the computer, it doesn't really create too many opportunities to score unless you play like a really open style of FIFA. Hence why I said don't go for something like press, because it can leave you really open. But they don't really, especially a team like this, which is the team I'm playing, which is a good team, but it's not an amazing team. You know, it's a team that is beatable. A team like this, if you play fairly balanced and don't go gung-ho, they're not going to score. So then it's just about how patient you are with your chances and how clinical you are when you get your opportunities. You know, you've got to be patient at making your chances. You've got to be clinical when they come, because it's tough. You know, when you face a team like this, Sancho should be burying that. It's not a bad shot. Again, it's not a bad shot, but it's a good shot from Sancho. But another save by Oblak, and just add it to the reel of saves that he's made. But it's terrible defending by Semedo. It was Militao actually, it wasn't Semedo. I don't know where Semedo is, but Militao. Militao again. What have we done there? Oh, it's a good save. It's a good save from Areola. But yeah, it's tough. You know, there's by no means are you going to be able to walk. Oh my goodness, that is pooky. That's what I mean. A better team would have put that away. You know, if that would have been like a Luis Suarez or a Lewandowski, they'd have put that away, and there's your clean sheet gone. And at that point, you're 2-1. The way the game's going, are we going to get 5 goals? The saves that Oblak's making, that's a really poor pass, but. That's the thing, that you got to be careful, because the computer can punish you. But we're getting the opportunities. You can see in this game, you know, if we'd have been more clinical, if we'd have had some of those absolute elite tier players, we probably would have scored. Perisic, got to bury that. Oh my goodness, Perisic on a 5-star weak foot isn't burying that one. How is he not scoring there? But you can see we're carving the chances open. You know, this tactic, all the tips that I'm giving you guys. If you apply it, and if you can make it work, you know, make it work obviously better than I can at the moment, it's creating opportunities. You know, it's one of those things where it's tough. You know, you're not going to walk into many games of squad battles this year, especially against like semi-decent teams. You know, against like the low-chem, low-rated teams. That's why I didn't want to do this against like a low-rated, low-chem team, because you should be able to beat a low-rated, low-chem team 5, 6, 7, 8-0 with ease. As I'm sure a lot of people are finding that's kind of the case. You know, Modric, what a finish. There we go. That's 3. 3-0, we could have easily had 6 or 7, but you know, against those low-rated, low-chem teams, it's easy to score 6, 7, 8 goals. But against some of these sort of better teams, and they're only going to get better, and this is the crazy part, people's teams are only going to get better. You know, this is like day one of the game, and this is a sort of squad that people have, which is not a crazy squad, but you know, once people start getting those top-tier Premier League players and maybe throwing a couple of icons in a couple of months' time, you know, squad battles is just going to be ridiculous. So I expect EA to maybe patch the goalkeepers and make them slightly less superhuman, which I thought they were going to do anyway. I thought that's what they were supposed to be doing in this game. They doesn't seem to have achieved it. But you know, maybe if they nerf goalkeepers a little bit, especially when people start getting the crazy good players, it might make it a little bit easier to do. But we're starting to win that ball up a little bit higher, so a fourth goal might be on the way. Sancho plays that in. Perisic. Oh, it's Goretzka. Oh, Goretzka's hit the post. That's really unlucky. It's a great play that was from Sancho, and lays it off for Goretzka. So you can see, man, we easily should have had 5 goals in this game. Some poor finishing on my part. Sancho again, another block. And it's just the AI goalkeeper, man. They're just doing everything they can to not get whiffed a shot from Modric. They're not doing everything they can to not let us get these 5 goals on this video. But we're creating the opportunities, so that's the positive thing. You know, we're getting the opportunities, we're creating the chances. We're not being super clinical. Let's make that clear. I'm not being super clinical. I'm not playing a great game, to be fair, but I am creating the opportunities, and I could get a 4th maybe. It's not ideal considering I wanted to get 5 in this game, but you know, we're creating the opportunities, creating the chances. As I said, if you could be a much better player than I am, and you should be able to. Sancho is going to. Oh, what a save, man, from Oblak. You can see the superhuman goalies, especially these absolute like top tier goalies. Just some of the crazy, outrageous saves they just make. You know, that should be a goal from Sancho. You know, a lesser goalie, and that's a goal. We're a bit unfortunate we've come up against this Oblak, but hey, you've got to play the Goretzka. You've got to play the top players eventually. And we're just not finishing off these chances. But you can see we absolutely could have got 5 goals with ease here. So these tactics that, you know, this formation that I'm using, the tactics, you know, the attribute cards, the chem styles, you can see it's all working. You can see the amount of opportunities that we've created in this game. We've just not been super clinical, but it is tough. It is tough to get 5-0s this year. It's not as easy as last year, which is good. We don't want it to be easy. We want it to be tough, and it's proving difficult in this game. I've got 3 goals. I should have easily had 6 or 7, but as I said many a time, I just was not clinical in that game to only get 3-0. And you can see how difficult it is. You know, we played a pretty good game there, and unfortunately that man there, Jan Oblak, just stopped us from scoring those goals. You know, scoring those 5-6 goals. He made some incredibly good saves in that game. Unfortunately, we were only able to get 3-0. You can see 16 shots, man. I mean, you look at that, 16 shots, 9 on target, 54% possession, barely any opportunities for the AI, 91% pass accuracy as well. We got the opportunities. You can see we're taking the shots at the right place. It's just superhuman goalkeeper was just on hand to make some crazy saves. I mean, Dembele, it's not a bad opportunity. I mean, it's not a great shot by me, I'll be honest. I definitely should have finished better there. That's a poor shot there. It was not a low drill. Sancho was off balance. But the goalkeeper, especially that one at the end, I want to see that one at the end because that was an amazing save. That was a brilliant save before half time from Oblak. And then Perisic, on a 5-star weak foot. You'd think Perisic should be burying that, and he just absolutely scuffs it. There's this again, Perisic, Sancho. What that one? I think that one was the save. That one was the one. I mean, the power he's hit that with, you'd expect that one to be going in, but it wasn't to be. And again, this one from Goretzka, he was off balance. That one's fair enough. That was a pretty poor shot, but we were only able to get 3-0. But we absolutely smashed the computer. getting probably, I'd say, around 2,300 points, maybe something like that, 2,304. So that's not ideal, but you can see the strategy and the way that we played and how we played that game and the tactics and everything. If you can apply that better than me, you'll smash the computer 5-0. But that is all for this video, guys. So if you do enjoy this and you do find it useful, make sure you drop a thumbs up. Let me know your thought in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well if you're new to the channel. As for today, guys, have an awesome day. I'm out.